Have you got a really small wardrobe or closet, and is it driving you crazy? When you open it, does everything fall out? If so, stay tuned because I have the answers for you. So this month on Tidying with Tania, it's all about closet and small wardrobe organisation. So I'm going to be sharing my top tips for how to make the most of a small closet or wardrobe to ensure that you can fit as many of your clothes that you love into your wardrobe. Now before we jump into the video itself, I just wanted to remind you about all the really good organisation and cleaning and home management tips and tricks that I have, and all the free resources that I have available for you. Just check the link below, you'll find all the great stuff, so jump in there and check it out. Alrighty, welcome back. So this month it's all about closet organisation or wardrobe, whatever you like to call it. So this is my little tiny wardrobe here. I don't share it with my husband, he's got his own little one on the other side, but it is small. So I have to be really careful of what I keep in it and how I organise it to ensure that I've got the most of the space that I have. So this month I thought I would share my top tips and how I maximise my space in my wardrobe and how you can find that really helpful for you in your wardrobe. So stay tuned. So my first tip is what I call wear it, keep it. So in your wardrobe, you should really only keep what you actually wear, and I mean what you actually wear on a fairly regular basis. If not daily, then weekly, and maybe monthly. Other than that, if you don't wear it monthly at least, then probably don't need to keep it. And the other thing to think about is have what I call a one in, one out rule. So if you are looking to purchase another piece of clothing, then you would then only do that if you're going to remove something out of your wardrobe to replace it, so rather than filling it back up again. And the other thing to think about is maybe having a look at what's called a capsule wardrobe. I personally don't do that, but a lot of people have tried that and have found that really useful. So there are a lot of good tutorials on YouTube about capsule wardrobe. So if you want to have a look at that, then just go Googling in YouTube and you'll find quite a bit. I personally don't do capsules, so I can't really give you any advice on that at this stage. And in terms of decluttering, my advice would be how I have found it really helpful, because decluttering your wardrobe can be really overwhelming, is that I never take everything out. I simply just do sections. So if I was decluttering in here, I would take the first lot out, go through it, hang back up what I want to keep, and then take care of the other clothing that I'm either going to donate or sell. And then I'd go to my next section, which would be the trousers, and so on. That way I find if I get interrupted, I can stop easily, and I don't have clothes all over my bedroom, all over my bed, and it's just a lot less stressful than taking everything out, because it can seem really, really overwhelming if you do that. And I think a lot of people find that they fail in decluttering because it's just too overwhelming to take everything out and go through it like that. But that's my own personal experience, so do it however you feel comfortable with doing it. But the main thing is, or the first tip is, make sure your wardrobe is only filled with clothes that you actually wear. Alrighty, tip number 2 is what I like to call fold 'em. So essentially, learn how to fold your clothes. So if you are having to utilize a small wardrobe, small closet, you are going to have to learn to fold clothing to fit your space. Now there are a lot of examples of how people fold their clothing. There's a Marie Kondo way. There's all sorts of different ways people fold clothing. Now it's a personal thing, and also think about the space that you've got. So just fold clothing how it's going to work to fit in your wardrobe. So for me, I've got, obviously here I've got my jerseys. Now I've folded my jerseys a certain way to fit them in. So I've got my bigger jerseys here, and these are my throws, so I fold them slightly differently to fit them in because I've only got that space. So don't be constrained with what you see, oh, I should fold my clothes that way. Fold them how you like to fold them, and fold them so they'll fit the space that you are working with. And this is the same I've done here. I've stacked these are little crop jerseys, so I can stack them up and fold them differently to fit them in here to how I folded these ones. So yeah, just have a wee think about what's going to fit for you in your space. And in terms of my smalls, I just folded them a certain way to fit them all in here. So yeah, just make it work for you, but do fold your clothes. It makes a big difference. Okay, so tip number 3 is pretty self-explanatory, really. It's basically about maximizing the space that you have. So if I look at my space, it's not very big at all. I've only got 2 drawers and 3 small shelves and 2 small sides for hanging. So I've got very little space to work with. So to maximize it, so example is here, and in here I've got my short sleeves clothing here and my long sleeved here, and I've actually put in a wire shelf. These are things you can often get for pantries, and I've put this in, and I've put my smaller long sleeves at the top, and the same up here. I've got a wire shelf, and I've put in my smaller, all these are my t-shirts. So I am able to actually fit quite a lot in here because I've put in another shelf, I suppose you could call it, by putting in this wire storage. Yeah. And then think about, so down the bottom, I have done the same sort of thing with my shoes. So these are just wire shelves, and I've stacked them on top of each other, and I've put my shoes in here. And I'm going to talk about shoes later, so just hold on shoes for a minute. And then in here, these are IKEA, just little sliding drawers, and I've got all my yoga gear in here, and activewear gear that I use. The other thing I use is baskets. So this is, and I've just popped that on top, and this has got all my scarves that I have. And also I've utilized the space here for my jeans, so that goes underneath. All my shirts are here, and I've just used the space for my jeans in there. And over here I've got another container for bags. So basically I have maximized all my space, and that's a basket with my belts. So there's no spare space here at all. It's all been utilized with a variety of baskets, little drawers, and the existing cupboards that are here. So tip number 4, which kind of relates to maximizing the storage space, is about access, or what I call ease of access. Now you'll note here, I don't have anything in terms of storage up here. I've got a lot of space, obviously, here for storage, but I don't actually have it. Now the reason I don't have it is that I have to reach up to get there, and it can be quite a pain to have to do that. Now, if you find that you've got storage up here and you've got a whole lot of baskets or boxes and it's hard to get to, you'll end up either not doing it or just biffing stuff up there, or not putting it away at all because it's just too hard to get to. So think about ease of access. So for me, I have put in my shelves so I can easily get these items out, and I can easily put them away. So when I've got my washing, it's easy to come in and just put them away. So I don't have to go up and put them into a bin. It's really hard. So it's easy for me to do that. The same for my yoga gear. It's just opening the cupboard up, and then I can open my drawers up and put my things in here. And the same for my belts, my shoes. These have got my bags in actually. So I can easily just go in here and grab a bag that I want to wear. I don't have to pull a bag out. So think about where you store. So I've maximized my storage here because it's easy for me to get in and out of the items that I have. Up here, if I had them all up here, it's a lot harder, and I'm less likely to store things back in here really well. So yeah, think about how easy it is for you to access your clothing when you actually put it into and how you organize it. Okay, my last top tip, number 5, is about shoes. So these are only shoes that I wear on occasion. So they may be ones that I wear to go out. You know, I'm going out for coffee, I'm going out for lunch, going shopping, whatever. And I don't wear them all day long. They're not what I call my daily shoes. So the ones that I store in here are all clean. And I don't use them daily. If I use them, I'll put them on and then I'll take them off immediately when I come back from the event that I've gone to, and I'll make sure they're clean before I put them back in here. I have a separate place for my daily shoes and my daily coats, and so that is my top tip, is to separate out of your wardrobe your daily shoes and jackets that you use and have them in a separate space. Okay, so sorry, you'll have to excuse the noise in the background. It's just actually a washing machine. So we're in the garage that comes into the house. So this is where we come in, park, and we would walk in through here, excuse my slippers, and come into the house. So as you'll see, I've got our daily shoes here. So it's my husband's and that's mine. And then our daily jackets and our hats and bags. So yeah, this is where I keep those items. I don't put them in my wardrobe. It's much easier to have them where you come in and out of the house, and that's what you take them off as you come in, and you take them off, put them on as you go out. And it helps to keep all of these items cluttered in the house as well and in your wardrobe. Checking out my wardrobe.